Anyway, I guess this is part 4. I'm gonna try to make it part 3 instead, because the other, the slave master cut me off at 4 minutes. First, it cut me off at almost 1 hour, and then the second time cut me off after 20 minutes. Uh-oh. They come with the gay flag. This hour is fucking early. I have a bag. A bag with the gay flag. um, like 75 climbing children's. What's it called? As a game, no, it's not, whatever. So, anyway, this is the thing, this is the future too, like I tell you, all my gadgets, I'm limited to half an hour. All my gadgets, Obama phone, whatever, I think in this one, I'm not sure. I gotta give it a try. The MP3, it's the iPod 7. The last iPod they discontinued the iPod. So, unbelievable. So, I mean, this is the new normal. Getting into your damn gadgets and just boom. And how you gonna explain that? How you gonna tell them like, oh, oops, that's just the way the technology, like. And they all own code. They all own code. I'm telling you, all the gadgets. It's like, this is the only reason I like this tablet. And then I told them, that the selfie camera don't work. I look like a damn ghost. I look like a damn ghost, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like medium dark skin, but over here is just like, that's why it was donated, to the program. And so you needed to be looking to see if you are recording, because that's the only way to know you're still recording, Unbelievable. Unbelievable, just like, I thought I was just gonna like, let myself go, and talk, see, but I don't know. Yesterday, Facebook, canceled one of my videos too, my live stream in Harlem. I was walking in Harlem and like, but I'm still gonna take it out. I'm gonna be recording with this over my computer. This damn maggot, she just decided not to let me go into the public restroom. And while the African American men say, "Oh yes," I say, "Is the ladies' room open?" And they say yes, and then and then the other one come in, this toilet train gorilla, Magilla gorilla, and she come in like, no, no, and I was taping her like, no, no. They are so intoxicated with power. They think they got power, I went to Home Depot and the same shit, I bought a can of the like roach killer, because when they installed the cameras, all the surveillance camera, well, we learn now that it's not surveillance only. They're study cameras, how they study our patterns, how we go, in every floor, in every staircase, 21 floors. I'm telling you, unbelievable. And so they hit something, because even the super, he said, like, I think they just hit something, and these water bugs out of control, out of control. And the building hired this fumigator, and that shit did nothing. Because I was adamant. I said I want to use them because shit, we're paying in the maintenance fee. We pay some of the largest maintenance fees in this area for the building also. The building, it's not really that much. The only thing is that it's in Manhattan, you know. So, but the guy came 3 times, fumigated, and this bitch was like nothing. So the super, actually, he bought some motels, whatever, and that seemed to be like, wow, it's like they work, because I'm still like with the 90s, just to buy that shit and nothing happened. And nothing happened. And now, since I have seen so much that, that, with especially with Robert Malthus and the Fabian Society, how they have all these books, like Carol Quigley, the Piggly Wiggly. He talked about it. He was given privileged access to the Fabian Society, and they say supposedly he was not supposed to publish it. Bullshit. Bullshit. You think that they was gonna allow him to publish? They talk about all that stuff, all their agenda, like make sure you sterilize them, always working, or allocate billions of dollars for sterilizants, and put them everywhere, in the food, in the water, everything, so people, they don't get horny, people, they don't get nothing, or they cannot carry a pregnancy to completion, something, always 24/7. 24/7, like, I mean, like, I'm like, but they don't talk about that, I actually left a message the other day to somebody, some channel, I forgot. Oh my god, who was that? It's like, because they talk, some bullshit, whatever. I say, why are they protecting that? Why are they always protecting Robert Malthus? Oh yeah, there was a thing, Project Veritas or something like that. The Iki Ike. What's his name? The British. Um, David Icke, something like that, and talking about that, oh yes, I am exposing them. I'm like, and I say, why you never expose, Robert Malthus or the Fabian Society? Crickets. So there is your good whites. They're like, none of them are talking about him. None of them are exposing. None of them are exposing, the whole monstrosities of Cecil Rhodes. And everything was, even Aleister Crowley. Let me pause it to see. I'm like talking to this shit. I'm like, do not cut me off, bitch, because I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm like, here's another one. Here, she got lost. It's like, well, they look like 95, that's true, but I gotta always remember, like, oh, they are European, so they look 95, I still get shocked. 40 somethings, and they look like, you sure it's 40 something? Like. Anyway, and no matter how much evidence, like, hey, being melanin deficient, it's horrible. It's dangerous. It's like, it causes you all these things, What's the solution? Transhumanism. Transhumanism, the growth hormones, um, all that, those kinds of monstrosities. It's like they want to live forever. They made up this character, Hermes, Megistus, or whatever, satanic too, and supposedly, I mean, it's a lot of, Anne Rice. I keep going back to Anne Rice, when you hear the story of Hermes, Megistus, or whatever. It's too early for that shit. Come on. And nobody moved for these ambulances anyway. So, and oh my god, my legs like so damn cold, and I'm like, and I refuse to put the damn leggings. I hate the damn leggings. Because I only got one nose trail already. I don't want nothing to block my oxygen, My oxygen. Now I'm talking like a Neanderthal, right? My oxygen. Get out of my way. Let me see if I stretch my leg. Oh my god, it is something I'm gonna have to cut it off now. I'm like, my leg is like, the fuck? The fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm getting a cramp now. Oh my god, it's my thigh. It's actually called thigh. No, it's just called, yeah, it's called thigh bone muscle, right? Oh my god, I never got the one up here. Up here, I mean, like, I get like, the, what's it called? The back of the shin, whatever. Hmm. Oh, I forgot what I was talking. I'm like, I don't know. I was gonna say my ADD, it's not mine. I don't want it. Damn ADD. But that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it, it is what it is, right? Oh, I didn't see you. I haven't seen you. Gorgeous. Wow. So beautiful. Now you can see them. You can see them. Brand new. Fearless. Now they are fearless, not Aleister Crowley. Anybody can be Aleister Crowley if you put all those tons of masculine and opium. It's just like, so, but that's what they're branding. That's what they're battling for the children, especially the white children. Like they teach Aleister Crowley. I'm telling you, they have. I mean, look it up. They have a line of clothing. They have a whole line of clothing. I mean, I saw that yesterday. They had all kinds of with Thelema, pentagrams, all this stuff. And I always seen that in my hometown. I think my hometown is a big satanic shit too in Mexico, because there's a lot of record stores, like the Alice Cooper and blah blah blah, and all. Oh my god, it's just and they kept saying, come on, it's just a genre, it's just a whatever. It's not like, okay, all the 80s, 90s, Nirvana and all that bullshit. And his wife, Courtney Love, like, Oh, and before I got cut off, I think the first time I was talking about the baby trains, right? Damn, I had a good train right there. A good train of thought, whatever. Damn, they cut me off. I'm just like, don't cut me off. Let me pause it just in case. Yeah, I pause it sometimes. I think kind of like fool the thing, you know. No, I mean like the other ones, it's half an hour and boom, they cut you off half an hour. And then now even YouTube one videos of 1 minute, the one minute videos, sound bites, and more sound bites. I mean, which are necessary, are important. I'm like whatever, you can remember the whole thing, with one little sound bite. But it's like what they're doing is like that's how they're introducing a lot of shit with sound bites to the new generations. They're so stupid that they think like, oh, I already know because I watch a lot of sound bites. So yeah, this shit is really heavy. This shit is really, really heavy. I'm like, something tell me that we don't even know a fraction of what it is. But then is what's happening. Like Elon Musk. He got all their Twitter messages. The DMs. Why don't he just publish them? Like, hey, gonna make a book and publish all the messages. I think that's illegal, right? Oh my god. But what they do is not illegal. And all you keep hearing is that, they keep passing laws to make it impossible to prosecute pizzas. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Supposedly there's one gay group that is against, supposedly whatever, I don't know. But there's one. There's one. All the rest, they know what's up. But they know, and they at the same time they don't know because we're going back to the baby trains, right? So, so if these sons of whatever, you know, like we say in my country, those who have no mother, they got no mother. When somebody like is acting out, it's like, oh, don't have a mother. You don't have no mother. And so if they keep up with them, the from the baby train, like, which still they don't tell us where all those babies came from, right? So they are, but I suspect, like, knowing them, it's like they've been programmed from the womb, with all these distortions of, normalizing, RAPE and, pizza and stuff like that, that don't, like, you always wonder, like the Olsen twins, why they never, as far as I know, I don't think they never got outraged at all their pizza jokes they made on them. We all know, we know that, they're richer than God, they're wealthier than God, whatever. They got a lot of money and whatever, like Drew Barrymore. That's something that keep coming back, and how she talk about it. Brooke Shields. Like, how the you grew up and like you're still in the industry that I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to think about what they did to these little girls. I don't. I mean, like, I think she was 10 years old, advertising jeans, hair products, as if she was a grown up with full makeup and, well, and that's where you would you go, like, the baby contest. Don't tell me that's not a Republican shit. Hmm? What was the name of the one that, you know, the little Becky? I forgot. John Benet Ramsey. That is 100% Republican. And that's what I've been meaning to talk about. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. No, don't be fooled by the Neanderthals. Why don't they? We have to ask them, hey, why don't you talk about the beauty pageants for 4 or 5 year olds? Huh? And there's certain stuff that I've been also like remembering, like I'm gonna, because I know that for a fact. If I know anything in this lifetime, I know that cracker is a cracker, a cracker, a cracker. That's, you can add it, subtract, whatever. This is like, still, damn, I have been knowing that, and I have been like trying to say it. I think but I ended up not twittering about it, but because I think it's very important. There's a lot of voices that say watch out, especially with Trump. That, but it's mostly about Trump, like saying, no, he's not who you think he is, blah blah blah. He's like, no, but this is way bigger than him. This is the way what we're seeing. They want to rebrand it and to, we dry the swamp. Granted that somehow, some way was able to. And then you think about it. You're gonna really convict this, mega, how you gonna convict that? What is this, like, what journalist or what reporter go like I said, is there any crackers they've been in prison, let's say like if Jeffrey Dahmer or something was still alive, you think he'd still be in prison for real? He'll be like Marilyn Manson, the other one, the other Manson. He too got a cult following, because he was bold. He was authentic. He was who he was. That's what 85-year-old Congresswoman Maxine Waters said. Megan Stallion is a role model for little girls, for young women. I didn't even finish half an hour of the video. I was nauseated. I'm telling you, you go like, damn, I fell asleep and woke up in this world. You have, the holy grail of African American politics, which been in office since the 60s. Her district is in shambles. It's a ghetto, just like Elijah Cummings. And he got a burial I mean, like, it tell you a lot. It tell you a lot. They celebrate those who destroy African Americans. They praise them. And, you know, an hour and a half tribute to Megan Stallion. I mean, I don't even listen to, like, shit. I'm like, and I love hip hop. I love hip hop. And they start putting maggots. I'm like, And especially like in the summer, I'm at the beach, whatever, like to, But I switch the station. If it's her or any other ones, Lizzo, Fatso, whatever, um, Cardi bitch, whatever. It's like I don't sick, sick. I mean, and you can tell me, bitch, what was the difference between Lil Kim? I didn't know. Lil Kim, I didn't know that there was like 3-year-old babies twerking to their music. Pop in. Yeah, you got $1 million. Pop in. Pop in. Stick it up my. Because you got money, you got whatever. That's it. What's the requirement? Oh, you got money? Yeah, I'm yours. And you go to Instagram, whatever, you put their twerking to that music from day one. So they're gonna grow up, and they're gonna be 10, 12 years old, and they're gonna look at themselves as like, I was so badass. Oh, I was so hip. I was like, and I was like, how come African Americans and the whole world is not rallying and asking for her head in a silver platter? Because it's not the same. I mean, like, Madonna was like, she was devastating. She was devastating to humanity. Because, she was raised Catholic, so she knew how to get to us. So I was raised Catholic too. And she knew how to be like going back and forth, a good Catholic girl, or like, oh yeah, true blue, whatever, and she would come out, with, just, I'm just a Catholic Italian girl, like, oh, poor thing. And, she's like 4'2", just a tiny little turd, like, I mean, and but she got a lot of resistance. Oh my God, no, my hand is freezing too. She got a lot of resistance, from from the Catholics in Italy. In I saw it. I used to be a fan, believe it or not. I was a hoe. And horrible. Just horrible. Like, like, oh yeah, poor thing. Why you care about this midget? Like, oh, poor thing. And she was like, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now we see her coming in and out of Africa. Traffickers in motion. Oh my God. You see her like all satanic. She got like the phone or the tablet. She got like the whole face like, oh my God. Oh. And it's just crackery, right? It's just crackery, more crackery. The whole planet, it's infected with crackatosis. But we cannot talk about it. Oh no, you cannot talk about white on world crime. No, you gotta say there's one or two. You're gonna believe me. You're gonna tell me. You want me to believe that there's only been one Jeffrey Dahmer all this time. in the last 30 years. Huh? Bitch, please. No, like, this is like tons of, if we was to go back and, to doing like home visits, you can find some shit in their freezer. Just take it and samples, what it is. So is this really beef? Huh. I'm telling you, this is a classic Neanderthal technique. Just to put it like in Victoria Nuland terms, accusing everybody of what they are, of who they are. Insulting my people, saying that human sacrifice is eating flesh, eating like whatever. What? They made it up. They made it up. You got billions of dollars. You got all the power in the world. You got all the credibility, prestige, through their universities, through their whole thing, and you come out and alter the codex of my ancestors. How long was Germany kept and Italy kept our codex, and how many they still got? And that's where they've been getting everything. The kindergarten thing that they came out with, that was from us, from my ancestors. They had, but it was nothing. I mean, this is the Neanderthal version of what we had, the Kalmekak, and this is like, and they use it all for evil. So now they're trying to say that, everything in Africa, they always focus on Kemet, and what they call Egyptus, Egypt, whatever. And they always say, oh, Heru is like the devil. Heru, the same thing of going back to Anne Rice. Anne Rice is saying like, that Aser and Oset, which the Neanderthals call them Isis and Osiris, right? Was demonic, and it was like, and like I say, they go through the whole planet, and it's like, oh, who else like to eat, baby meat? Who else? They go like, and since they didn't find them, oh, let's do the baby trains, and we can train them and stuff. And I mean, they are fetishists. They're fetishists. They always, traditional. I don't know. I guess they're still doing it. They eat. They like to eat some of their flesh of their conquest. That's one. Talking about, I was talking about like here, African Americans. They used to make wallets with their skin, and that's their obsession with chocolate too. How they became, and like, oh, let's have this blackness so we can be like them, but without being black skin. We can get their superpowers. This is savages. This is savages. It's not like, but that's where that term come out. The cognitive dissonance. Like you say these things and everybody like, what? They lash out. It's like, what are you talking about? They grew up with lamb chop, Mr. Rogers, with like, whatever, I don't know what else. I'm just like, I just heard those. All this stuff like so they think, and they are very attached. I know a lot of people, they are very attached the childhood characters, they're like, oh yeah, just, I mean, they might not admit it. Oh, the dog is following the guy. She's gonna go tell him, don't do that again. I mean, like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, technically, yeah, everybody should put him on a leash, but come on. If you know, I mean, I'm terrified of dogs. I'm terrified of dogs. I mean, like, no matter what, they might be the sweetest of the sweetest, toothless, perhaps. I don't know. I guess toothless, I wouldn't be. I don't know. But I don't know. It's just something about them. I'm a cat lady. And the crazy thing in my country, I never, because they mind their own business, we mind our own business. Unless you call them out in the street, they'll come to you. They don't come to. I mean, every once in a great while, you see that, they might end up being a gang, they get dangerous. But for the most part, no big deal for me. But we hear they're like, I guess they're so friendly, whatever. Like, like really, I don't know. Anyway, and I have met a lot of people terrified of cats. It's like, oh no, 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 I don't care what you tell me. Like, I'm like, I never. I mean, the street cats, yeah, like, because I don't know what the trauma, hurt people, right? And under that logic, I guess, I mean, it's true. They've been hurt a lot by their own satanic ways, being trapped in the last ice age. You would think they will be a little bit humble. They will be a little bit like, okay, so shit, we got trapped, and they went through hell. And 60, -60, -70 degrees, and every day buried in their own feces, and it just like, so I always think, like, imagine the first time they started going to Africa, like, and seeing, like, wow, the riches, like, you stretch your hand, you got mangoes, you got nuts, you got food. And the crackers is like, call me like, so they say, watch out, watch out. Look at the way they came over here to the Anáhuac. Shameless, because they are so angry, because they're angry with God, they're angry with nature. That was their own fault. They should have gone to Azania, what they call South Africa. They should have migrated, but because they're so backwards and twisted, they go like, yeah. I'm telling you, like, by their own admission. You got it all there, the documentaries, all the shit, saying, crackers was, eating arsenic and putting arsenic to be pale, like a corpse. They wanted to be a corpse. Let me pause it. They wanted to be a corpse, and you go like, damn, where they got this shit from? Like, oh, the baby trains. These are bastards. They grew up, and then, when they don't procreate, I guess. Well, they might procreate, I don't know, but these bastards, they get to adopt bastards. So the dysfunction, the values, and then being taught that, hey, okay, this is what we do, but don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. They do their rituals. to Diana, to all, like, because they never change. They never change. I mean, like like they see all these stories, like from like the itty bitty bitty tiny Iberic Peninsula. You hear all these stories that they fake conversion and blah blah blah, and they still worshiping, like, I mean, just look at what they claim. They always claim Greece and Rome, always. One the most backwards. I, I mean, it's the opposite of civilization, right? The most barbaric um, cultures that they it's heavy, heavy, heavy on the pizza, very heavy, and sodomites, whatever, all this termites. I mean, you go over here to the Met, and you see it right there. The children, they go there, and then you see these two guys, fucking up the ass in the plates, in the jars, and that's what they claim. And they consider, their Shangri-La, that especially Rome. I mean, like, and what we heard about Rome is not even a fraction of what was going on. I feel like, to the point that they had to come out with this concept. We'll turn off the music now. Oh no, Mercury retrograde. Go away. You serious? I charged it last night.
Connected.
Alright, Becky. They gotta put their voice in. Tell me about the battery.
Battery level very low.
Whatever. I still can play my music. Oh. I didn't know a pair. Did it say pair? I didn't hear the pair. Yeah, well, that's why I bought it at PC Richards. So I got the 2-year service plan. Gonna give me a new one. You start fucking up, you're gonna go back. I'm talking like a Neanderthal, right? Like, And I always say that to everybody. We all got a cracker in here. It might activate itself when you least expect it. Gotta be watchful. And bye-bye. 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 Gotta be mindful, watchful. Gotta detox. You gotta detox, de-westernize. We gotta put people in quarantine for real. And they're backwards. It's like no matter what, every time. Like I said, I'm only 58, and I have seen like shit always. That this is gonna be so great for humanity. This is gonna be so good. And boom, Trojan horse. Look at our children, look at the new generations, look at a mess. They're a mess. And that's another thing they're banking on. They're banking on that there's going to be a war. Between the old heads and the... Well, there is one already. Look at it, like in a lot of places in the whole world, even my country. Presidents in their 60s and 70s, 80s and 90s. We gotta learn when to quit. But if we see the new generations as a competition, or in this case as breakfast. So so that explain a lot. That explain a lot that how we just f up the next generations. But guess what? Now with social media, now they know who is who and who is doing what to them, and they're gonna be coming for them. People are like, oh, I hope not. I hope not. Once they wake up, once they get a little bit empowered, they're gonna say like, oh, they're already very resentful, and they make comments, especially the baby boomers. They consider them to be their arch nemesis. They consider the baby boomers, and I mean, because they really fucked up. The baby boomers, it was like the ghetto mentality of that time, that there was just, I mean, they dressed nicely. I'm not gonna say they didn't, but but always with a cocktail, always like playing cards or playing this, always like and that was a big blow. And then the hippie movement, the Aleister Crowley movement, you know. That's how you know. If you study Aleister Crowley, you understand the hippie movement. Really like with all these actors, there was like it was actually rebelling. They was actually revolting against their own parents. That's why you see like Jane Fonda. Oh my God, it's like, oh, that's a part of the video that I don't think I have played. I have to like, it's hard to cue it up because that lecture is like 8 hours long. So it's kind of like if you find what you find. It's like, because they don't have the marks. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I have that lecture on YouTube. You see, I'm an old head. I could just do stamp marks, whatever. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna see when it is. Like when he's talk about the Henry Fonda and like you go like, ooh. So it was very convenient them to have their own children, fake, this rebellion, this rage against the system, against the machine, all this stuff. But I always seen it. That shit is a escape valve. Oh, let's what's it called then? Liberate some steam before, like BLM. Talk about, I'm not BLM, but I do believe that Black Lives Matter. I mean, just imagine right now if it had not been a George Floyd. If there hadn't, I think everybody will be up in arms right now. But the George Floyd was another like, okay, let some steam blow up. And then nothing for years. And then people start feeling stupid, like, oh, we went out in the street, we were like, whatever, It's all about psychology, I'm talking about not just reversed psychology. I'm talking about double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, and more reverse psychology. Because they know that we know that they know that they know we know, and they go like, okay, so yeah, at this point, if we're gonna be saying this, the masses are going to be like, I mean, not always, not always. It might be just reverse psychology, simple reverse psychology, but they know that, I mean, that's all they do. And that's why we need to move on from surveillance to study, because they're studying us. We're being studied every day. Like, can't believe in my building. Like every time I come out, how I come out, what colors I'm wearing when I come out, and they're gonna like, oh, now let's spray this in the air and see what happens to the humans. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's like, they so we gotta come up with a name instead of saying like surveillance cameras, or we gotta come out with like, you know study cameras, like, that's why they trended Big Brother shows. It's like that was the number one show because people, it was horrified and fascinated at the same time. It was like, I mean, I think that most people was fascinated. I think it was because, look at these idiots, look at these losers. But guess what? They are the number one superstar right now, and that's all we care. Well, 15 minutes of fame, I'll take it. I'll take it. 15 minutes. And they're willing to die for it. And then auditioning and like, oh my God. Like that little show, on MTV, The Real World. The Real World. I remember we used to laugh so hard. The Real World, crackers living in Manhattan, the real world. And they're still superstars. They were the first generation from the real world. I mean, to their generation, I guess. I don't know. It's like, not superstars, but they're still like, oh, I was in the first real world. Unbelievable. They used to hook us with the most stupidest shit ever, like that. Sometimes it looked like, oh shit, I think we have come a long way, because the ratings are going down. Yeah, the ratings are going down tremendously, but not fast enough and not low enough, because now they're all focused on children. So we lost. If we had at least like, I got a double chin now. Chin, 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 chin. What's the difference? Chin, 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 chin. I hate this language. We got different words, very different words for everything, for almost everything. Not like, I mean, but they don't have imagination. Chin, shin, chin, 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 chin. I don't know. Crackers are crazy. What else can I say? So it's getting warm up finally. I'm like, I'm not taking chances today. I got boots and I got a heavy artillery. This is like insulated galore, and it's a nice color actually. I kind of, no, you don't look at the color of it. Not even. This is the color of the divine feminine. They even switched that. They even switched that. I mean, like, you just think like, oh my God, pink. What's pink? Pink is red. Red is masculine. You see how the white boy magic, how it started? They say, oh, it was because of Louis XIV. You know, he liked pink and whatever, and they just associate. And people eat it up. People eat it up. And how long ago was that when they reverted the colors? It's all magic. It's all magic, you know, white boy magic. Thank God it don't work as good as it used to, but it still work for some shit. I mean, like, well, it's something called inertia, right? That's what they say. I don't know what the hell that is, but you know, when shit keep happening, even when they are flat broke. I mean, like, well, all they got is the real estate and the gold and the diamonds and like, but you know, I mean, their paper is paper now, you know, but they still keep saying cash is king, cash is king. Well, I don't know what cash is king. You know, I don't know, but because they are psychopaths, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of countries, they play along. They play along, you know. They know, oh, you know, US currency is just paper, but don't take it because they're psychopaths. They're psychopaths and they're gonna kill you if you don't do that. And they promote those stories. Even when they're supposedly they are when they're supposedly calling it out, like Muammar Gaddafi or you know Saddam Hussein or whatever, you know, anybody who's trying to abandon the petrodollar, you know, they get. Oh, I like that dog. It's barking at this little Becky. Like, you heard that? Not all the dogs. That's another thing, you know, the things they do with the dogs, oh my God. And that's one of the most enraging things. You know, I mean, seeing the pictures, seeing like, and somebody was saying over there in Rumble, he was saying that these babies sometimes last 2 years. 2 years. Can you imagine? So, what they're actually doing, and this is where I get to the good part. What they're actually doing, they are destroying this energy. Well, they don't have a soul, right? They don't have a soul because we see who got a soul, the original man, right? And you see how the soul moved, you know, and everything. And then Neanderthal got no soul, and like, Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, and so when these energies reincarnate again, they come out wicked and more. They're expecting with all this torture and pain and suffering that these creatures, you know, baby creatures, you know, like, because they are, I don't know, because months, oh my God, I don't even want to think about it, but you know, just, it says some of them, they got in 2 years on drugs. I have spoken to some of them, the victims of human traffic, and that's how they told me. That's how they told me. Like they let them rest for a little while sometimes. Without crystal meth, without whatever the drugs they say, muscle relaxers, whatever. Oh my God. And then it's like they take it over, they take it, and this is every day, every year. I used to have a friend that she was for like 8 years, and she actually they used to take her to a club that I used to go in Manhattan. She told me we had everything. We had everything, couture gowns, everything. They arrived in a limousine to the clubs. There's more than one club. I don't want to even like, damn. And you think like, you don't know that they are. And I got to see some of them. Let's say like, wow, what is that? Just I don't mess with something I don't understand. That's by rule of thumb. And fucked up for life. Fucked up for life, that's for sure. You're left to pick up the pieces, right? Look at this perfection. Just fell for me. Everything that God made is perfect, so that's how I know they was not made by God. Well, they're a perfect devil. I don't know. So it is very tough to see their eyes, how they're all tiny little babies, this big. Their eyes are like on meth. Oh my God. Because for a while I was thinking like, why would you do that to your own children? Why would you do that to your own children? So they believe that by effing them up, and then boom, 2 years they're gone, come back, and they're feeding the chaos all over the planet with these energies being born again and coming back, I guess. I don't know, I guess Aleister Crowley will prove their theory, right? They say, oh, you can make like thousands of hundreds of thousands Aleister Crowleys if they continue like that. They're very superstitious. They're fetishist, or like whatever. I'm telling you, I used to hang out with some Neanderthals. And it's always, everything was a fetish. Everything was a fetish. It was like, oh, it's like that's a fetish. I'm like, another fetish. I'm like, they get so obsessive. I knew some like, especially dark skin. Wow. They just like, I got to see them, like in the clubs, with the strippers, and like, oh my God, it's just like this. Oh, you see that? You see this? Like, sometimes I thought it's like just wasting my life, just going through. But sometimes, like right now, I think like shit, everything I went through is to show me. I mean, coming from a tiny little town in Mexico, I ended up in New York City, and even when I was not, I guess I was a bourgeois, right? I was a bourgeois. I was just always very curious. I always been very curious, So it's like, okay, so, but I wouldn't. Well, not always, but most of the times, like I gotta get to have, good knowledge, certain knowledge of the subject before I can like, okay, this trend, I'm gonna jump into this trend, you know. But I did put myself in danger, like with the damn club kids and stuff, even when I was around. But it's like, I mean, like, they was all like that, They talk only about Michael Alec, but they was all like that. That was it. You see, like, all this stuff that I saw in the 90s with the club kids and S&M community, whatever they call it, community, leather community, whatever. It was like, I was like watching. I mean, I used to think it was so stupid, like, I guess I'm boring, I guess, I don't know. But, I mean, it was, we didn't have no internet, well, at least I didn't have no internet, I don't know. I think they've been having internet and stuff, I don't know. That's how they've been organizing themselves before everybody else got a chance to organize themselves that way, And I remember like vividly, how like Malcolm Alec just gave him hepatitis to everybody because he thought it was a good prank. Amanda Lepore, she was like, I heard that bitch, she was like, they wasn't talking to each other for a long time. That was like, okay, now you crossed the line, like giving them drinks, he was like dying of that shit, and he went. I could have caught it. I could have caught it. I could have caught it. Hepatitis, whatever. They used to have the blood ball. The blood ball. Oh my god. I never went. I saw the videos. I saw some pictures. I was like, it was Abramovich. I mean, it's not Abramovich. It's Crowley. It's Crowley. They're mating. Oh my god. They're having sex in front of me. I've never seen it. Thank you, God. A beautiful miracle. I've never seen birds. I heard, how they do it. When you're little, the people the poor people, the real people, they talk about these things. I didn't think it was literal. Because they call it, they used to call it when I was little, stepping on you. I don't know, it's a bad translation. I don't know how to translate it. Yeah, he get on top of her. Alright, I don't know. I didn't know it was literal, because they're also in public school, in grade school. They used to, say that they're gonna step on you. They're gonna step on me. These references definitely. I don't know. There's got to be a name in English. I don't know. I mean, for the people of the farm, the people, of nature, that grew up with nature, was like no big deal. They talk about, oh, the rooster, blah blah blah. And, anyway, yeah, but I'm gonna try to keep it in mind. I hope I don't forget, talking about the beauty pageants. I mean, I did. I had not seen the speech from Candace Owens. That was good. That was good. That was when she was calling out Kim Kardashian. For what? No, Kim Kardashian owns herself. She gotta do what she gotta do. I mean, like, I didn't know that she condemned the father of her children and call him anti-Semite. I'm like, are you serious? I didn't know that. I don't follow that circus. I don't, and I try not to. And I think Rumble has been like, come on. I'm telling you, I didn't think those shit. I thought it was like Odyssey. Odyssey is like, I don't know what Odyssey is, to tell the truth. They don't even allow you to upload videos over there. That you gotta pay money to upload content. I'm like, what the fuck that is? I don't know. I opened an account years ago, and I mean, I try to support, the competition, just because I'm tired and I'm like, I do want revenge. Come on, they've stole too many of my videos, too many of my channels. They not only that, I know the fact that they are blocking my content every day. It's like, come on, it's impossible. Like, you got no views. It's impossible to have a live stream without nobody by accident clicking on it. And all my live streams, I end up the live stream and like 0 views. It's like, I'm gonna like, nobody by accident clicked on it. Whatever. I mean, so it's just like, so I'm not. When they say, oh, you want to fill out this survey? I go like, sure. Read between the lines. When they say, commercials, watch the commercials. Sure. I'm going to watch your commercials. They got to be out of their effing mind to think like, you want to give us a review. You want to give us like, I know how that shit works, right? All they want to do is just for people to be engaged somehow. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna hide your review, and it's just gonna be counting it as another review. We're like, oh my god, 10 million reviews. Like, oh yeah, but the ones that they sent, that they are all the way, God knows where. They don't show it. You don't find it. A lot of shit, you never find it again. So, I mean, you gotta have the link. I'm learning a little bit. Like, I email myself some links, and like, they break them. They're like, whatever. People, I used to hear people like, you have to make your own website. It's like, bitch, is like, who you think own the servers, right? It's like the messenger. They're talking about, I think it was all these people selling, I think it was Signal, something like that. It was like, they say, oh, that server, whatever that is, I don't even know what a server is. It's Jeff Bezos. Like, okay, so you think that's confidential? I mean, I don't know. So far, I think the only thing is Telegram, right? Supposed to be. But I mean, there's always, they come with a lot of money. A lot of money. They come and like, okay, give us the data. Give us the mega data. We want to like, come on, here's the money. I remember when Zuckerberg went to Mexico to see that despicable piece of shit that was in the National Palace. Entire families got wiped out because they were stupid. They was messaging each other on that site. I'm like, come on, how can you like message yourself, message important shit on? And I guess they didn't know when he went to Mexico. It's like, what's he went to Mexico for? I don't know. That should have been a warning. Like, shit, flee, flee, go away. Yeah, because that's the Zuckerberg sold all the data to the government. Unbelievable. And I'm still like, damn, there's comments under the video I made about Aleister Crowley. I don't want to read them. I know what they're gonna say, like blah blah blah. I read one, that's it. I read one comment. They're such psychopaths that they focus on, or they pretend that they're focusing on the most stupidest shit ever. Not, oh my god, he ate his own children when they was babies. He's like, oh no, they go like, oh, you like whatever, you hateful, racist, okay, so, I mean, I think, I mean, where you go from that? Where you go from that? And this is the number one European icon. Now for 100 years. 100 years. They all go in, and I have, the first thing I watch their face, I mention Aleister Crowley and like whatever, like okay, if I happen to have, which I don't, I avoid him like the plague. That's why I'm freezing my ass over here. They say it's gonna be 70 degrees at like around 3 p.m. I don't know if it's true. This is 10:52 and I'm freezing my ass. So cutting this out. This shit is no joke. And I'm still doing my hissy fit. I don't want no more thighs. I don't want no more leggings. And I think it's also because I haven't found like good ones. I think I haven't found good leggings. The last ones I bought, now they're gray. Now they're gray. Shit, I spent $12 for that shit. I mean, they are very comfortable. They are very, they fit. They're fitting, design, everything. But now they're great. I washed them. I didn't want to wash them. I mean, I guess I should have soaked them in vinegar first. So they will retain the color. But, anyway. For next year, because I'm still like with my hissy fit, no more leggings. Sometimes I get so crazy that I go out in flip-flops and then no more boots, no more shoes, no more shoes. But yes, everybody's on code. Everybody like, oh, pretending that it's not freezing. Everybody's like, I'm like, what? Oh, I'm cursing. I'm cursing it out. I'm like, I'm not. I think I will make a bad victim. I don't know. I'd rather don't talk about that subject. Ew, 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 ew. Yeah, but I mean, to describe him as fetishist is a good description. Superstitious. And nobody would even expect it because, they always like, "Oh, whatever," but because they got so much to lose. Sometimes I try to put myself in their shoes for 1 minute, and I'd be like, damn. I mean, you get like paranoid. You get imagine having trillions of dollars and like. So they're always ahead of the game, at least 100 years. That was when they like when they trigger, the industrial revolution. That was slavery, another form of slavery. And everything, like, oh, now we gotta champion the victim's narrative. Oh, the Flatiron Building victims of the fire, and there was women, and there was like whatever. But now we see the light. Amazing grace, amazing grace. How, I mean, like, and people buy it again. So this is where I'm coming from. I say, watch out. This is nothing but another rebranding. Like they go like shake it up, makeup, whatever. Like here, it's a brand new cracker. This is harmless. It's politically correct. Look. How can you be scared? Somebody who drink their cup of tea with a pinky out and so polite. Everything say please, thank you, blah blah blah. They always know the right thing to say. That's what Aleister Crowley advised. You read that. Oh no, never argue, never nothing. And they say always be a gentleman, the dandy. You have to, always look. And then you look at Anne Rice books, and that's what the vampires will say. Like, you gotta stay on code. Don't let them know that you are like what was it do like that movie? What was his name? That old fart. What's his name? Hopkins. Hopkins. Wasn't it Hopkins? No, who played Liam Neeson? I thought it was the same guy because they do the same thing. Oh my god, that shit was like, freak me out. That was when I first had arrived in New York City. That was when first, and I didn't go to the theater. But I had to have cable because I wanted to. I was living in an SRO, but I had cable. So I think it was like HBO Premiere or some shit like that. I was like, and everybody, because I fell into like kind of like a fashion circle, whatever. I don't know. And they was all like, oh yeah, the gowns and everything. It was gays. And online, I was like, really? Yeah, it was good dress, I guess. It's like nice. But, the theme, like always, like, You know, these poor beings, they're tormented. They don't want to kill us. They don't want to torture us. They don't want to suck our blood, and then, oh, Winona Ryder. Where's Winona Ryder? She went, oh, I'm a virgin, blah, blah. I'm in love. I'm so obsessed with you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that was some weird ass shit. I didn't even know much about nothing, but and it's always that because we see Hollywood, we see how they like constantly, they telling like, oh yeah, they're very awkward, they're very weird, you know, the actors, that's but they're lovely. They're always like, like making, Photoshop, whatever, like, photo. I don't know that they're always writing articles about them. Supposed to be interviews. That's how I learned English. Believe it or not, I used to read Vanity Fair and Interview magazine. Because I found it so fascinating. Oh my God, it's an interview. Like, oh my God, this is how they reply. And supposedly it was all text. They used to tell you, oh, we are here at, I don't know, Cafe Luxembourg or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I was in Mexico. I mean, like, each magazine used to cost like $1 million. I only bought a couple. I mean, I didn't buy a lot. I used to go to the store. They let you read. They let you read in the store. So they used to have like, oh my God, Interview magazine, and like this big, and what a work of art. Just the cover. It's like I thought it was like, oh, the cover. Oh, the cover. I was so stupid. I was like 10, 12 years old. And oh, Vanity Fair, like look at beautiful pictures. Look at the beautiful pictures. Oh my God, these are like masterpieces, like like, oh. And now looking back, and it's all about same. I wonder if I threw them all away. I destroyed them and I threw them all away. I used to have a collection, piles and piles, from the 90s, Interview magazines. I found one the other day with Ashanti on the cover. She looked gorgeous, and like that was when they used to do show business like a real show, like shit. Everybody flawless. They look like, you go touch the cover, you go like, Ashanti look like a goddess. I'm like, oh my God. And that was older. That was not the 90s magazine. And always, like they was talking about, like especially New York City life, like, oh my God, I used to. So when I arrived to New York City, I was like, almost like, oh my God, I'm in New York City. I'm in New York City. I was like so stupid. I mean, just another victim of the propaganda machine. And they still like, surprised. There's so many, supposed to be so many people trying to get in the corporation that they call a country. I mean, they do they spend trillions of dollars in another van, another SUV, humongous. They spend trillions of dollars a year all over the planet distributing their television series, distributing their propaganda, the movies and stuff. And when I was in the hospital, I saw that they had, I think it was France or something, but it was not translated into like Spanish. No, everybody was talking like a Mexican. That shit freaked me out. I was like, okay, now I understand a lot of things in Mexico. I understand why there's so many. I mean, that should be illegal. That should be illegal. How you gonna go like talk slang, talk like Jennifer Aniston, like whatever. Like, oh my god, this is just so wrong. Like because it wasn't bad enough. Because it wasn't bad enough. I mean, like I can I can only imagine like if I was to watch in Mexico, if I was to watch Dynasty again, and they were talking like Mexicans. Can you imagine? If I was obsessed with Dynasty, I was obsessed with Dynasty. I wanted to have that so bad. I thought it was like nothing gonna stop me. Thank God it was just a phase. Thank God it was just a phase. Unbelievable. That was a boy. I don't know why it was a big deal. His shirt went up. I mean, he was upside down. I was not gonna go. I guess. But they say boys are the new girls. Oh my god, this shit is so sick, but true. And here we are left with a carbon copy with a bad joke of a man, which is a feminist. They believe their role. I was like in the train yesterday coming from yoga, and I saw these two dykes, and it was just like they believed it. I was like, I mean, it's not the first time I see a dyke, I mean, like, I was like, damn, it's just walking with a swag, like, like, did you have not paid your dues to walk like that? They think manhood and virility is a custom. And they go and they study men who they supposed to hate with a passion. And everybody question them. If you think that men are such a piece of crap, and most toxic and blah 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 blah, then why you dress just like them? You wanna talk like them. You wanna walk everything. Their obsession. Why? If you like, and I don't think they never reply. And that's a question from the 80s or before that, I mean, like, the same thing with the gays. It's like, I mean, you're not getting respect from me as if you was a man. I mean, like, no. No. Especially if I know you. I mean, if I don't know you and you're like playing down low, whatever, I mean, but then I have seen so much shit that, I know. I know them, like, That's why they also hate me the most, because I'm like, alright, bitch, you were trying to fool everybody thinking that you're a man, but you're not. In Mexico, we call them mujerucos. Mujerucos is like, I don't know how you say that in English, but kind of like a butch woman, you know. So, but some of them they think like, oh no, shit, I got everything to a T, you know, beard, because they study. They're obsessed with heterosexual men. They study them like, I don't like seeing them on Grinder, you know, their demonic app, and they go like, wow, you know. And I mean, some of them they've been married for decades or whatever years, and they got like, you know. So they they know, you know, that's how they know. But some of them, a lot of them they don't. A lot of them they don't. They don't know. They don't know. They study them. They study what they do, what they wear, what they, you know. I should remove from the sun. Let me move from the sunlight because my face is always a different color. And that's the thing, just because you don't see the sun, you don't mean that it's out there. Actually, I got to see it a little bit. You can see. I don't know. It's gonna come out. Can you see it? I was like, oh, I've been here 2 hours. And that's why, you know, the Neanderthals say, you know, that my ancestors was such savages because they wasn't wearing no clothes. But they don't tell you that, you know, they created fashion, you know, that it's exploitation. That's why they invented feminism. I forgot my iPad. Hold on. Yeah, and that's a lot of people miss that, you know. How it's a great source of income, you know, and power, and, you know, holding these fashion houses, you know, which they still, you know, to the children and the young ones, you know. Like, you know, Ugly Betty. That shit was lethal. You know, I used to see them, you know. Actually, you know, my best friend at the time, she went into fashion industry because of that. And I mean, she didn't, whatever, but it's like also like the hats, right? Like the hats in London, right? That, you know, we gotta wear a hat. If you're seen without a hat, because that's how you keep financing terror. That's how you keep. So, I mean, to a lot of people, the system is flawless, right? Because you see, well, it's only clothes and whatnot. But when you see, you know, like children from the ghetto, you know, saving every penny to buy a belt or to buy a handbag or to buy, you know, like some makeup because it's whatever, Rihanna's or whatever, you know. And yeah, the lines always start very affordable, very affordable. I mean, I keep going back to, you know, that shit because I had to buy in Amazon some medication, you know, because I'm into homeopathy. and Walmart didn't have it. Not that I condone or anything, Walmart, The Waltons are another demonic force. But I gotta admit that's unbelievably convenient. And I have heard that that's why they do it. They are subsidizing this because they want to make everybody into ordering online. So there's no more mom and pop. There's no more competition. They got all the competition, and we're getting ready to go into the metaverse, right? You don't need to leave your house. You don't need to do nothing. I'm like, well, I bought these vacuum, the ones that you pump them out, storage bags. That was a piece of shit. So I told him, I'm gonna return them. So I say, oh no, don't return them. No. Here's your credit. I'm like, $20 credit. I'm like, for real? You don't want me to? I was gonna come over here to UPS, whatever. Because one time I returned and I thought that was really cool. That they was able to print the address and boom, and it was paid for. I didn't have to pay shit. Oh no. Of course, that they went like, can you give us a review? I'm giving you shit. So that's how they buy reviews. Now I know. I'm like, why would people from their busy schedule, just time still, why would they write reviews? I guess that's a code word and they keep giving you shit for free. I don't know. So they have this, lineup of things, and towards the bottom they say, designer store or some shit like that. I was like, I clicked on that and it was like, damn, I thought it was gonna be like, ghetto, like H&M, some shit like that. No, they have all the brands. I mean, I didn't really look. I got so disgusted. Can you imagine? But they say right away they say, oh, we take food stamps, we take EBT, we take like whatever. Oh, how nice. I was like, I gotta walk. No, this leg is messing me up. I don't know what it is. Damn it. I gotta look into my herbs. So, yeah, that shit is unbelievable. I mean, and that's everything now. I remember when they started, I thought it was like, it was only for books to read, It's like, oh, whatever. Now it's like, you turn around and like, damn, I gotta get up. Now they own everything, and even crazier is that the fact that you gotta pay for shipping. Shit, I pay $7 for my medication. My medication cost $8. It's coming from India. Supposedly it was mailed already, but they say it's gonna arrive during the first week of May. Oh no, during the first 2 weeks in May. And I bought it 2 weeks ago. Are you serious? It's like, why taking so long? A little tiny bottle. Yeah, I'm not buying there, ever. Or I bought a sun filter lotion because they say it smells like coconut. Oh, I love coconut smell. That was also $6. And supposedly that shit was delivered, but it's not there. So they're sending me another one for free. No wonder people are obsessed with ordering online. And they tell you, oh, free returns, free returns, free returns. Like, okay. Because they already charge you for the return when you purchase shit. Come on, $7 for shipping. When, I mean, they are one of the largest corporations. So they get wholesale prices for shipping, and even the postal, come on. I know corporations, they don't really pay for shipping shit, but anyway, I gotta go. I think that was enough. I kind of wish I had to come earlier, but anyway, I'm glad that the problem got fixed. And anyway, the whole magic got lost. Honestly, I thought I was onto something. I thought I was, I mean, with humility. I say that with humility, and I'm like, but I don't know. I'm still shocked that it got 1,000 views, that video. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that people can connect the dots, and from Switzerland to, and this is all the same, and it's a very elaborate system of what I'm scared the most is that we don't even know half of it. There's more. I mean, like, so we know that they're harvesting melanin. They got videos that they explain how they boil the skin of African people, or whatever. They extract the melanin that you're taking with, called like melatonin, I mean, it's like 100 products from melanin. And I keep forgetting to upload this video where they are confessing. They say synthetic melatonin it's nothing. So I mean, there's a lot of evidence that they are also harvesting melanin, organs. Whew. I think there's more, and I think there's more. And what I'm afraid of is that, yes, we're gonna know everything, and like we say over here, that and a Metro card is gonna get you in the subway. So there's nothing gonna change. We're just gonna know who they are, and they're gonna become more and more shameless, passing laws, and we're just gonna be like, oh. And it's not, because it's not about any of us. It's about the children. It's about, they don't even give a fuck about us. I mean, I can tell, they know that, they lost hope with us. They lost hope with, but when I see all those little videos that people are making, like the grooming and all that stuff, I was like, whoa. And one day we're gonna come face to face with that generation, and we're gonna be like, who the F are you? And how could this happen right in front of our eyes, right? Even we're gonna be all fake shocked. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna see that the new generations, they believe in this, they believe in that, they do this, they do that, blah blah blah. And we're just gonna be like pulling our hairs out and saying, no, it's gonna be, and there's nothing we're gonna be able to do because it's a new paradigm and it's a new thing, because they live vicariously through their anime, through their whole thing, and they love it, and they don't even know any other way to. They don't know any way to live like other than that. I mean, the very few interactions I have had with young people, like they just, and they are very passionate about what they know. Their facts. They got their facts, and they scary shit. Very scary. Later.